All right, good morning everybody. My name is MadiHicks and I interned this summer at Theraplay Learning Center in Hayes. So a little bit of background about me. I didn't know that we were going to do a little introduction before, but just to elaborate on it, I'm a senior at Fort Hays State and I study sport and exercise therapy, specifically pre-occupational therapy. I'm originally from Bennington, Kansas, so I come from a small town as well. I plan to attend Northeastern State University in Oklahoma to obtain my master's in occupational therapy, and I recently got married this summer, so overall it's been a great summer. So like I said before, I interned at Theraplay Learning Center in Hayes. They also have a Norton location, but they're a pediatric clinic that provides physical, occupational, and speech therapy services. And we have clients that come from over a 100-mile radius. So we are the only pediatric clinic in the western Kansas area. So a little bit of background about what an occupational therapist does. It often gets confused with physical therapy, and there is a lot of overlap, but I found this definition, and I think it really encompasses what OT is. So it says, an occupational therapist uses specific activities to limit the effects of disability and promote independence in all aspects of daily life. So it's a very broad definition, but specifically for pediatric OT, we help kids with handwriting and cutting skills, social and emotional communication, core and posture strength, dressing skills such as tying shoes, zippering, and buttoning, using eating utensils and feeding skills, and then self-regulation. So what does my day look like? I do a wide variety of things at the clinic. Mainly I help assist with activities. We have lots of clients that we see on a daily basis. I've seen up to 8 in one day. Then I get to help transition the clients in and out. Some of them don't like to leave. I also help set up and clean up the activities. We move very fast paced, so I have to be on it. We did an organizing project, going through all of our equipment, taking inventory, making sure everything was up to date and clean. And then towards the end, I got to select activities for each client, so I got to plan and facilitate those. So a couple of my takeaways from this summer. Firstly, I learned that observation is key. Whenever a client would come into the clinic, we would always give them a couple minutes to just free play, do whatever they wanted, and that would be a great time for us to evaluate what is their mood, are they focused, are they overstimulated, how is therapy going to look like today. It's a huge tool for understanding, and we've talked about advocacy, being able to advocate for all the kids, especially for ones that can't verbally communicate how they're feeling. Watching their actions and how they play and interact with you on that particular day is huge, and I believe that makes a more effective occupational therapist. Secondly, I learned to embrace the chaos. This picture over here, we were building a cabin. So it was so fun to see this little kiddo's imagination as he was taking toys from all over and making it his own. So I learned that not every session is going to be super structured, and you just have to roll with that. There is a method behind the madness. Sometimes the clinic looks like an absolute mess, but knowing that there is something beneficial coming out of it. And that's why we invest in good cleaning supplies. A lot of kids, you hand them a toy and it goes straight in their mouth, and you just have to make a mental inventory that you're going to wipe that down later. Thirdly, meet the client where they're at. Not every day is going to be their best day. Sometimes they walk in and you realize, okay, we might have to take a few steps back in order to keep moving forward. That's why it's so important to be flexible. In this picture, this is our little calm down corner. So we have these fun swings and some lights, and it's just a really good place to get the kids to relax and calm down. So if they do that, you accept that as a small win and you just keep going. There's going to be lots of little moments like that. So wherever they are on that particular day is where you as the therapist have to meet them. Be creative. Pinterest was my best friend this summer. I got the opportunity to make lots of little crafts, and I learned that sometimes the most fun activity is the most simple one. This little jellyfish I made out of cardboard and pipe cleaners, and it was like the kids' favorite activity. Like, they all were so drawn to it. What they did, it was a fine motor activity where they had little beads and they had to string them up onto the tentacles. And I had one little boy pretend that he was a doctor and he was putting casts on each of the tentacles. He even drew that little red sucker because he said doctors always give suckers to make the kids feel better. So I love that. OT is like the perfect combination of creativity and science. So using your resources, using Pinterest, using other people, there's so many ways to make activities fun without the use of expensive equipment. OT is not one size fits all. We have a lot of kids that have very similar diagnoses across the board, but they each will receive therapy in their own individualized and unique way. In occupational therapy, address the whole client, so it's not just helping their physical needs, helping them emotionally, helping them mentally, spiritually, you name it, we cover all of it. And then no two clients are the same. This was one of the projects that I helped do, just make a visual board. A lot of our kiddos liked having a schedule, being able to pick out their activities and knowing what they were going to do in a day. So I would take pictures of all of the equipment in the clinic, then I would print and laminate them and then organize them in a visually pleasing way so they can see what's available. Lastly, you just learn to enjoy the aha moments. I was there for 8 weeks, so I got to see each of the clients' progress over time. So being able to look back and realize, wow, they've grown so much in this skill since the first time that I saw them. Remembering where they came from also helps to realize the progress that they've made. And as an occupational therapist, that is the greatest reward. It's your goal to help them get from point A to point B and to meet their goals. So that was one of the most enjoyable parts about my internship. Thank you.
So out of all the activities that you got to do or create for the kids, which one was your favorite?
Probably the jellyfish one.
Yeah. And getting to see, like, you know, the kids' transformation maybe throughout the 8 weeks and things, what was that like to see that, like, okay, you're helping?
Yeah, I think it helped me personally just grow confidence in my own skills. Yeah. I learned a lot of things that can apply towards grad school, getting into that field early, and realizing this does make a difference, even if it's not a huge step, but looking back and realizing that they are making progress is so rewarding.
Yeah, that's awesome.